that is swinging. You could say that.
No, not really. That's different.
Uno, it seems you don't know what swinging is.
Swinging
Swinging is going to a random place and sleeping with
random
people you just met. Exactly. But now, when you're talking about a non-monogamous relationship, it means that you're also taking care of them emotionally. You're paying their rent. You're paying their rent. It's not just sex.
That is nonsense.
Swinging.
Rent.
Yes. Yes. We know that homosexuality or being gay is not acceptable in most parts. It's socially acceptable in most parts of the Western world, like in the U.S. Not everywhere, but generally speaking.
Right.
But generally speaking, it's socially acceptable, meaning that you cannot you cannot just openly harass someone just because
you're not going to be victimized.
Yeah. Yes. So not saying that it doesn't happen, but so there's certain things that are not socially acceptable in the West, and I'm going to give an example. One of those things is polygamous marriage, and not to make comparisons. Polygamous marriages are still fairly socially acceptable in Africa, in parts of the Middle East.
Yes.
I don't know about Asia, but I know in Africa and in parts of the Middle East. So polygamous marriage is still not acceptable. It's actually illegal. It's actually criminalized in most states in the U.S.
Yes.
Which at this point, that should change too.
Yeah. And this is where I'm saying, is it, things that are socially, things that are not, your usual norms, but are socially acceptable in Africa and they're illegal in other spaces. Do you think they should also adopt that system of where if you have 3 or 4 consenting adults, you should be allowed?
Absolutely.
I think so too. Besides, statistically speaking, there are more women than there are men. Just DC alone has 1 man for 11 women. So what are the rest of us supposed to do when that one man is already married? But hey, if he and his girl are willing to have another wife, I don't mind. I'll slide in there for Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm open to it.
All right. Some comments here coming. I think this comment is from this. There were a few gay men in Pennsylvania when I lived there, out and proud. I don't know whether she meant, gay Kenyan men or just gay men. And then Stella Marine says, yes, there are Kenyans in the U.S. who have to hide because the stigma for them is double.
That's true.
And then Lydia says, I know of a Kenyan male back in Kenya who's married and having an affair with another male on the side. So that shows you that this is happening. It's with us.
We just don't talk about it.
Yeah. So in the case, Stella says, in the Kenyan community, having a child out of wedlock a few years ago was caused to be side-eyed to hell. I would know.
I think even now, Bado do like
no, not really.
Yeah, and
no, it's acceptable, but
it's acceptable. Yeah. Now it's acceptable.
Yeah, and then Nancy is saying, but I know people who are in polygamy. I think
in America,
in the U.S. Yeah, there are polygamous people in the U.S. Yeah,
Yeah, like the people in Utah. Yeah, but that's a religion thing.
No, but in Utah, polygamy is still illegal. A lot of people don't know that, but polygamy is illegal in Utah. It's illegal in Utah.
But that place where they live is kind of like Disney, where they have their own zip code. It's like their own little city or something.
The only thing about the Mormons is that they don't seek government certificates. They don't care about that.
Right.
So
they can live how they want.
On my perspective, I don't think I don't see America, like legalizing polygamous marriages, but they should decriminalize it because it's criminal in most states.
Okay. Yeah, which it should not be criminal. I mean, let people live how they want to live. Why are we policing people?
And then I see Lida Makeda says non-monogamous relationships are becoming socially acceptable, especially among millennials.
Yes.
I don't know whether she means, like cheating or just,
no.
Or just openly
accepting.
Like you have a wife, like you have a wife, and you're telling her.
Exactly.
No. You have your partner.
Yeah.
Mekubaliana.
Yeah, that's what Mika is saying too.
That's what she's saying.
So your partner, like maybe like your wife.
So me and Ulrika, we are married, right?
Yeah.
But we that's swingers.
No, but swingers is a one-time thing.
Yeah, but not.
No, but see, the thing is,
No.
One mic is not swingers. It's not swingers.
It's not just about
I
sex.
said like
open relationship. You have a wife and your wife has a boyfriend.
Well, that is swinging. You could say that.
No, not really.
That's
different.
Uno, it seems you don't know what swinging is.
Swinging
Swinging is going to a random place and sleeping with
random
people you just met.
Exactly.
But now, when you're talking about
yeah.
a non-monogamous relationship, it means that like you're also taking care of them emotionally. You're paying their rent. You're paying their rent. It's not just sex.
That is nonsense.
Swinging.
Paying rent?
Yes. Yes.
Linda says, I mean polyamory.
Polyamory.
That's different.
Yeah.
So that's the non-monogamous.
Yeah. So I guess there are these things that are happening in the world right now. That
millennials
that people are getting in a state of big confusion. But it's still not socially acceptable to say, I mean, it's accepted, but it's still not socially acceptable to publicly say that, oh, I have a side chick. But it's one thing having a side chick and having an actual relationship with another woman, meaning that you guys are together. You have your wife.
You're claiming each other.
And you're claiming each other with someone else. So
the fact that everybody in that relationship knows everybody.
Yeah.
And they're cool with
so
it.
Nothing is a secret. So that's like polyamory.
Mimi niko na relationship mbili but kila mmoja najua ni yeye peke yake.
Yeah, and then there's this page called Extreme Love, where I've seen situations where you have like 3 people in a relationship and they're all in a relationship with each other. Like a guy and 2 women, and the guy's in a relationship with each of the women, and each of the women is in a relationship with a guy, and the women are also in a relationship with themselves. So it's kind of like a love triangle, if you get the drift. Like they all, like if you're not there, like, I'll be with this other one. And if you're not there, I'll be with this other one. So
that kind of sounds like polygamy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know that, because with polygamy, the wives don't have a relationship. It's a husband who has a relationship with each of the wives.
Not necessarily. Some polygamous marriages, even the wives have their own little situation.
Where? In Kenya? In Kenya, not in Kenya.
I don't know
not
about
in
Kenya.
Kenya. Not in Kenya.
Let me ask you.
Here.
So Linda
Makeda
says polyamory is not swinging.
Yeah, that's not.
But when in polyamory, are you kamatanai?
Yes, you are.
Okay. I just want to clarify.
That's the whole point.
You're kamatanai.
All of you are kamatanai.
Okay.
Yeah.
Swinging ni. Wewe uko na Ulrika. Ali ako na Miss Mujuku. Mnakutana, muna exchange mabibi.
Exactly, that's swinging.
Yeah, that's swinging.
Muna exchange mabibi.
No, anajifanya. No, uno hapa anajifanya ajui. Anajifanya ajui.
The clarification too, seeking clarification.
Yeah, and